Hey everyone, it's Ryan here with my reactions to Elimination Chamber 2021. Excuse me whilst I just get the match card up. Probably should have done that before. But yes. Elimination Chamber took place last night. I was going to record it about 3 or 4 in the morning. Like, nicely, it was a 2.5 hour show, so it ended early. So I think that's probably what made the show a bit better, was that it didn't drag on. Turns out there was only 5 matches. The Asuka Lacey Evans match never happened. They never did anything about it. I think for the night they just ignored that it was a thing in the first place. Like, there was no mention of it on the pre-show. There was no mention of it during the show. Like, oh, Asuka was meant to, but because Lacey's pregnant, they cancelled the match and whatever. Like, literally just blanked it out like it never existed in the first place. So again, because I was working and I didn't get back till midnight, I missed that they had a fatal 4-way match to determine Keith Lee's replacement, because they said on Sunday afternoon that due to injuries that Keith wouldn't be in the match. I guess there's a different reason for it, but I'm not one of those people to, like some reporters and all that stuff unfortunately some members of the fan base, where they need to know every little detail as to why this is this, and they couldn't just accept that it's not happening, essentially. But they had, I believe it was John Morrison versus Elias versus Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali, which John Morrison won, so John Morrison's in the triple threat. The first match we have on the night is the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. Daniel Bryan and Cesaro start in the ring. It's a very nice technical start to the match. I believe King Corbin comes out next. He gets a bit of offense on both of them. Sami Zayn, he's next, and what happens is he closes the door, doesn't want Corbin getting in. Funny thing about he's doing that, Cesaro comes on the other side, and the referee on the outside slowly opens the other door, I think, or Cesaro does it, and Sami slowly turns around and goes, "What are you doing?" And then immediately turns around and just hits the other door that he's kept closed, and then Cesaro just beats the crap out of him. Kevin Owens comes out next. Sami tries to align with him, and that doesn't work for him. So Kevin just throws him all about the place. I believe Jey Uso then comes out next. I think Jay's the last one anyway. But I think all 6 are in the ring at a time. I believe Sami goes out first. I think Kevin Owens eliminates him. Kevin Owens at one point does a moonsault off the pod. He gets brutalized by Jay when they're opening the door to let Sami out. Jay then gets to the door, slams it on Kevin Owens' arm, and just basically beats the crap out of him and crushes his arm. Hits the frog splash to pin him. Corbin might have gone first. It was the beginning of the night, and I've slept since then because it's currently 2 in the afternoon. So I'm trying to remember it based on that. But basically, it comes down to Daniel Bryan and Cesaro again, which it's pretty cool considering they were the starters. And then I don't think it does actually. I think it does come down to them. And then Daniel Bryan ends up getting the win. Or does it come down to Daniel Bryan and Jay? But either way, Daniel Bryan wins the match. Roman Reigns immediately comes out and basically has his title match, and then he goes for the spear. Daniel Bryan counters it into the crossface. Roman's selling it for a good minute before he powers out, starts beating the crap out of Daniel Bryan, puts a guillotine on him, and Daniel Bryan essentially is unconscious, so kind of made to submit in that way. So Roman retains, and then it's immediately followed by Edge spearing Roman, pointing at the sign, and this felt a bit off for me. So he points at the sign, and they set Pyro off, like his announcement is that big a deal. You do that for WrestleMania, you win. You do that for the Rumble even. You win the Rumble, you point at the sign, big Pyro go off. I don't know why they did it here. It felt just so off and weird. Unless it was a thing that Edge pitched for, because Edge is now essentially on creative. But yeah, we're getting Edge versus Roman, which I feel like they were setting up beforehand anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Edge versus Roman. The next match I believe is the there's only 5, so I have to try to remember what order they're in. What were the matches? Chamber, US title. Yo, I've got the match card here. I don't know why I'm trying to debate it. I could just look at it. I believe the next match was the triple threat match. Again, because technically Roman's was the second match. So Bobby Lashley defending his US title against Riddle and John Morrison. The best thing about this, Bobby Lashley just showing what a powerhouse he is. And with like just the way he throws everyone about, especially like Riddle, John Morrison. The best thing about John Morrison, he can make like any powerhouse look amazing. Just the rotations he gets on his bumps. Riddle and John Morrison end up teaming together, trying to take down Lashley. At one point, they both hit finishes. John Morrison hits Starship Pain. Bobby kicks out at 2. MVP starts saying, "You really thought that was going to keep him down?" This is Bobby Lashley talking about. John Morrison goes out, grabs the crutch of MVP, goes to swing at Bobby Lashley. Bobby ducks it, puts the full Nelson in. I believe they call it the Hurt Lock. And as he's doing that, Riddle's grabbed the crutch, smacks Bobby Lashley in the back, hits the his finisher, the weird version, the neutralizer. It's like the weird hug thing. I forgot what it's called. To win. So Riddle is the new US champion. It's his first title like since joining WWE. That like includes NXT as well. And yeah, fair play to him. But like it's a nice way to keep Lashley strong. We were watching it together and we were sort of like a bit annoyed that Riddle won because Riddle's character the past couple of months has been the worst. But if it's any way to push Lashley, especially with his new edge to him, then fair play to him, and I guess we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, Riddle is the new US champion. Bobby Lashley is pissed. So yeah, and then the next match is the women's tag match. I'll be honest, probably the weakest match of the night, but not because it's women's wrestlers, because they're actually all really good. But I feel like just because the build-up was essentially 2 days, and it's to me a bit filler. It was there just because. The story into it is Belair and Banks having this pre-match interview where I can't remember who it was, but they basically asked Bianca, it's like, well, you're teaming together. What happens if you become tag champions and you want to face her at WrestleMania? Blah, blah, blah. I think they just gloss over the point because Reginald comes in and is basically saying, they need to be draped in gold. And basically it's clear that Reginald has a thing for Sasha. The ending to this match is Banks has Nia Jax in the bank statement. Reginald comes out, he's got champagne or something. One thing that I pointed out to everyone on our group call, and this has been bugging me for years, it's technically a rope break if the person that does the submission touches the rope, yet for some reason Sasha's allowed to kick off the rope despite the fact she's touched the rope, so that's technically a rope break. But I believe she tries to do that. I think Reginald tries to get involved somehow, so the ref gets distracted. Nia Jax then hits Sasha from behind, hits a Samoan drop to win. So Jax and Baszler retain. Banks and Belair are now annoyed at Reginald. Where this goes on to SmackDown, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, there wasn't much to this match. It was one of those weird things where they had something happen backstage where you knew it was leading to something in the match. There's a couple of other bits backstage. So Miz is there. Bad Bunny shows up. He says, Miz is like, well, what are you doing here? You're not even wrestling tonight. And Bad Bunny goes, well, what are you doing here? I mean, you're not the champion, are you? So Miz shoves him. Bad Bunny slaps Miz, and basically, obviously Miz is sort of turning right, angry. He goes to turn around again. Damien Priest is there. And then before the chamber match, we get it's not got any audio to it, but we see MVP discussing something with The Miz, and you sort of think maybe he's going to work a deal out for The Miz to maybe get the briefcase off The Miz, because Miz is very cautious of his briefcase, and he's interested in what MVP is saying. But then we cut to the main event, which was the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. This was like 20 to 2 in the morning, so it was essentially half a show and we'd already got to the main event. So it starts off with Randy and Jeff. They're going alright for a bit. Drew McIntyre comes out third. There's a nice bit as well when Kofi enters the ring. He looks back just in case he's going to get hit, because obviously the most infamous Kofi moment in the chamber, apart from 2019, was when Edge jumped in before the match and got in the chamber himself, and we're sort of thinking Mustafa Ali was going to do the same. So Drew McIntyre comes in and he's just a house of fire already. The whole time he's just waiting for Sheamus, but Sheamus is coming in last anyway. I think Sheamus at this point is looking away from the ring as well. Like, he's just looking outwards. Like, they cut to him every now and then, and he's like not even looking at the ring, which is pretty cool. I believe Kofi comes out next, and like within a minute he just eliminates Orton with like a roll-up pin essentially, and we're sort of like going, okay, that's a bit odd. Like, there's no Fiend involvement, there's no Alexa Bliss, it's just Randy's eliminated a minute after Kofi comes in, and he's looked around confused. Randy Orton RKO's everyone and leaves, and whilst that's happening, AJ commands Omos to get him out the cell, so he grabs the glass on the back, the glass. It's that floppy thing, the thing. I can't even do the noise, but you know what I mean. Like, it's one of them, and he literally like tears it off the back, throws it over the barricade. AJ comes in around the back, and as he's getting into the chamber, Orton's there on the stairs. Orton just stares him down and then just slowly walks away. AJ tries to take advantage to pin everyone, and that does not work. Eventually, Sheamus does come in. I believe he brogue kicks Kofi to get him eliminated. Jeff is hitting a bunch of offense. Sorry, I'm just going to sort my nose out quickly. Yeah. So I can feel my nose running a bit. Anyway. So Sheamus eliminates Kofi. Jeff, we're sort of waiting for the high spot where he ends up killing himself. But it doesn't really work. He hits a Whisper in the Wind off the pod. I think he goes for a Swanton or something. And then he avoids something, but then gets hit by the Claymore. So then Jeff is eliminated, and then it comes down to Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and AJ Styles. At one point, Sheamus hits the brogue kick on Drew, and as that happens, AJ Styles comes in, hits him with a phenomenal forearm, and pins Sheamus. So the Drew and Sheamus thing essentially is put on hold for a while. So it comes down to AJ and Drew, and there's this amazing... So I caught this a couple of times with AJ. Like, I don't know if the first one's intentional or not, but he goes for like a springboard 450, but he just does a springboard senton, essentially. So he just does like a 180, and that's it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because then immediately after he goes for the springboard 540, 450 even. No, it is 540, isn't it? Is it 450? No, 450, because he's up and then he lands on his front. So, yeah. So he goes for a springboard 450 afterwards, and then like it leads to the Sheamus elimination. And then this bit, I would say I called for it, but they're preparing for it, so you can sort of see it coming. I was kind of hoping it would happen, and it did. So AJ goes for a phenomenal forearm, and as he's doing that, Drew McIntyre just jumps off the air and claymores him in midair, and I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, whenever someone takes a springboard finisher, it's amazing. Like, one of the best ones of all time is Shelton taking a Sweet Chin Music from across the ring. Just stuff like that. So Drew hits the Claymore on AJ Styles, pins him, and Drew retains. The chamber starts getting lifted, so you know something's going to happen. So that's both the chambers with something happening. At least with the first one, it's logical because it was, Roman was having his match next. As this one's lifting, Bobby Lashley comes in and just brutalizes Drew McIntyre. He spears him, throws him into the barricade, throws him into the announce table, just beats the crap out of him, puts him in the Hurt Lock for ages, then slams him down. As he starts to walk away, Miz's music plays, he cashes in, he hits the DDT, the single leg DDT thing where like they're on the knee and he goes bang, like that with him. Drew kicks out at 2. We're thinking, oh, Drew's going to claim himself. Miz picks him up. Skull Crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. Miz is WWE champion again after 11 years. Well, essentially 10 years because he was champion during 2011, but he won in 2010. Somewhere Angry Miz Girl is angry again as Angry Miz Woman. But yeah, the reaction we had on our Zoom call, like Miz, ever since like 2016, the original brand split, the whole Talking Smack segment, his feuds with Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, we were waiting for him to be WWE champion again. And with him like getting Money in the Bank off Otis, we were thinking that was the time. I'm looking forward to Bobby Lashley's push. If Bobby Lashley becomes WWE champion, great. I think that's what I enjoy about this a lot is, Drew's had a good run. Maybe the story is Drew winning it at WrestleMania again. But just imagine, like, so many people that have had, like, they've been champions in the wrong time, essentially. Like, Sheamus was a champion in the wrong time. Miz was champion in the wrong time. Bobby Lashley should have been champion his time, but he wasn't. And, like, ever since his move away, like, when he went to Impact and had all that, ever since he came back to WWE, everyone's wanted him as champion again. Obviously, Drew had time away and he came back and everyone wanted him as champion, and now he's been champion. So, it's going to be nice to see these people that have been so deserving of world title. Like, even Sheamus as well. Like, I think I said that earlier anyway. You've got these handful of people on Raw that, you feel like they should have been given a world title opportunity, and like now's a great time to do it. And like I said, Bobby Lashley's now getting pushed to a world title picture. Miz is the current world champion. It may be for 24 hours, it may be for a month, maybe he goes into WrestleMania, is it? Who knows? But I'm gonna enjoy what moment I can. He can use that as a way to aggravate Bad Bunny. I wouldn't want Bad Bunny to get involved in Miz losing the title, but I like the idea that Miz can use it as bragging rights against him. Because I believe the rumour is going to be Miz and Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. Whether it's a singles match or it's a tag match with Miz and Morrison versus Bad Bunny and Priest. But yeah, Miz is WWE champion. The cash-in actually worked. And yeah, I'm like, the nice thing about it is it's like a lot of people had it set in stone what the WrestleMania match is going to be, and now Miz is champion. We don't even know. And it's one of those things where it gives you a reason to tune into Raw tomorrow. Well, technically tonight. But yeah, like I said, Miz is champion, and I couldn't be happier. I know Drew's had like a really good 2020, but it's nice to see. Miz definitely wasn't going to cash in on Roman, and obviously with MVP talking to him backstage, does this lead to Lashley getting an opportunity at the title? Does this lead, what happens because of it? Someone pointed this out, which was great. It was like I wouldn't say a throwaway Raw, but this was like a mid 2020 Raw. MVP has his VIP lounge. He's got Drew there. He goes, I think this was like leading up to Backlash, the match between McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. But MVP literally says, "Look, doesn't matter when it comes, but the day you lose your title, I'm going to be involved." And called his shot. Essentially he was involved in McIntyre losing his title. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens on Raw. Raw episodes, a majority of the time, haven't been great because they, to me, I feel like they get a bunch of writers to write a single episode and then they just take it in turns with the scripts. And a lot of them are very familiar and it's the same thing again. Yeah, I'm excited. It is probably going to open up with The Miz, and, I look forward to it. Maybe a fatal four-way at Fastlane. You've got Drew, Sheamus, Bobby Lashley and Miz for the title. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what happens. But yeah, this has been my reaction to Elimination Chamber 2021. Apologise for the stuffed nose I have recently got up. I probably should have sorted that out before I started doing the video. I was fine, and then 5 minutes into the video it started being a pain in the arse. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching my reactions to Elimination Chamber 2021. And I will look forward to see what happens on Raw. And I shall hopefully see you in the next one. Right, bye.